Hey, what's up guys? I'm here again for another video for a recipe that that I'm doing today. It's gonna be a quinoa fried rice. It's really amazing tasting, trust me. Like after you see this, like it's full of flavor, everything. Like it's a quick meal, 10-15 minutes, and then it's done. So yeah, I'm about to show you guys the recipe now. We'll start with the quinoa, and then after showing you the quinoa, I kind of already have it started, so I'll show you that first, and afterwards I'll show you the veggies that I use, how many I cut up, what I use in it, and how I add all the ingredients, obviously. So as you guys can see, I have the quinoa being made right now. Pretty much for the quinoa, I already threw away the bag. It was a small bag. I used about a cup about a cup or two in here. And pretty much with quinoa, I eyeball everything, but you want to use about 1.5 to 1 3/4 cups of water for every cup of quinoa. And for what I've found, it makes it perfect. Like I said, I eyeball it, so it comes out the same for me every time just because I'm so used to it. But if you wanted a little bit more crunchy, you would go about 1.5 cups, a cup and like a quarter or something like that for every cup. And if you wanted a little bit fluffier and softer, then go about 1 3/4 cups. But if you want it really soft, then go 2 cups for every cup. And I use about a teaspoon of sea salt, or pink Himalayan sea salt, in here, and then about a teaspoon of turmeric, or I guess you could even go 1.5 or 2 teaspoons. I just like it to be nice and orange, just so that way we have that flavor on the quinoa. And that'll take about really just 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, quinoa it's really quick to cook, so this is probably one of the easiest parts. I just get the veggies done while this is going. Okay, this is what the quinoa looks when it's nice and done. I hope you guys can really see the texture of it, because I mean the texture, like the way the outside of the seed looks, really shows how soft it is and fluffy. Yeah, so that's what it's gonna look like when it's done, nice and orange and yellow. Okay guys, so as you can see right here, I have all the ingredients laid out. So we have about 5 sweet peppers. So there's 4 yellow, 1 red. Those are just what was left, really. And then we have about 5 stalks of green onion, and then about 7 little stems of some thyme. This is really gonna make a difference. You guys will see in a second, because there's some tomatoes I'll be adding. They're just frozen right now. This makes a big difference in the sauce that you put over the quinoa. So you want some thyme. I have some rosemary as well. I forgot to pull it out right now, but I'll use about a stalk of some rosemary, and it tastes great. Okay, so this is all the veggies after they've been cut. I just added about a half stalk of some rosemary to all the thyme, and then right here we have the cherry tomatoes that we use. These are unorganic, but they're hothouse grown or greenhouse grown, so there's no pesticides or anything used. And I looked up to like see how they take care of their plants and everything, so these are quality. We just froze these. Freezing tomatoes keeps them fresh for a lot longer, or keeps them good a lot longer, so that's what we've been doing. It works fine. Okay, so right here we have all the seasonings we use. We have some organic ginger, clove, coriander, Himalayan sea salt, cayenne, and I use avocado oil in the pan to saute the onions and get everything nice and sauteed. I'm about to show you guys what the measurements look like for each of these. These right here are all the seasonings after I've measured them and put them in some little cups we have just to put them in. We have about 1 tablespoon and 1/4 of some ground ginger, a 1/2 tablespoon of some coriander, 1/4 of a tablespoon. I'm sorry I used tablespoons, guys. That's just what I had. 1/4 tablespoon of some ground clove. Have about a 1/4 tablespoon of some Himalayan pink sea salt, and a 1/2 tablespoon of ground cayenne. You guys can use a little bit less if you don't like spice. This is just because we like spiciness. I just put it into the oil here, and if there's a little, you know, like if I feel like I need more, I'll add more, but I just add all this. I'll wait for the sea salt. I like to wait for that just for when I put the tomatoes in. And yeah, just turn that up to like probably a 3, and then I'll stir in the seasonings and we'll add in the onions afterwards. I usually would go with about 6 stalks of onion. Like I said though, this was the last of what we had from last grocery shopping, so this is about 5 stalks. I do like to have a nice amount of onion inside of the fried rice. Okay, so as you can see, I just added the peppers in. I'm letting it all saute together really nicely. I'll give it about a minute or 2 minutes. I only have it at about 1.5, 1, 2, I guess, whichever one you guys want to consider it. But yeah, I'll just leave that there for about a minute or 2, maybe even 3, and then after that I add all my tomatoes onto one side of the pan, and I wait till those heat up, and you'll see what I do with those soon. Okay guys, so you'll know when the cherry tomatoes are ready to pop once they start to kind of wrinkle up like that, and like they're just really easy to pop. Like it takes no pressure and it'll just like pop open, and then you want to do that for each and every one of these. Okay, so this is what it's gonna look like after you've popped every tomato. I turned it up to about a 4, just so that way we can kind of get it to boil, and then I'm going to turn it back down to a simmer. So from here we kind of want it to get to a nice boil, then we're going to turn it down so we could get a simmer. From 4 down to probably about a 2 really, and let it simmer for about 10-15 minutes, probably even 10. And then you'll see that gradually it'll just keep thickening up until it's a nice sauce, and I'll show you guys what that looks like in a second. Yeah, so as you guys can see, it's pretty much turning really thick. I'm just letting the edges kind of thicken up a little bit more, but everything is really thick now. It's a nice sauce. Everybody in my house always says something about it, so it smells great. It's quick to cook. Another thing is it's entirely an inexpense to make a meal like this. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and go like, oh, 20 cents for the tomatoes, this, but it's about, we spend about $25, $30 max a week on produce, and then we spend about $18 on some quinoa, and you know, that's on the high side for produce. Really it's only $20, but I'm just saying 30 just in case, you know, because like we get herbs and stuff, but maybe like a seasoning that we ran out of. But yep, so it's just very inexpensive to make. You know, it's quick. You know, if your family's hungry, you're hungry, you could just settle down 10 minutes and this meal's done. If I wasn't recording, it would literally be 10 minutes, because I'd have this quinoa being done while this sauce was thickening up, and once it was all ready, then like I just throw it right in, just like that. You know, that's like a nice thickness. You can turn it up a little bit. Sorry, these neighbors' dogs just love to bark. And from there we just pour it all onto the quinoa, stir it in. Okay, so this is the final product, guys. Quinoa fried rice. This will either be part 2 or just part 1 if I don't upload the last one that we made. But yeah, this is what it looks like now. There's lots of tomato in it. I mean, you guys, once you guys try this, like you'll really know. Like this is a staple, like an entire staple meal for us. It's quick and it literally tastes absolutely amazing. Normally we'd have a little bit more quinoa too, but we used the last of our package. I would appreciate if you guys left a comment, subscribed or liked the video, shared it with other people that you know that are alkaline or just vegan, you know. And yeah, thanks for watching the video. See ya.